And ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go three abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got them for a breath. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of Outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again, it's Wing Nation presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. Talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. We are so glad that you have joined us. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post zooming our way through this pandemic. And Erin, we got to see the world of Outlaws this weekend. Did you have fun watching that?
I had a blast, and I put a tweet out, but I really meant it. I don't think I really even knew how much I missed real racing. You know, I knew that I missed it, but I was so excited to watch it. I was like a little kid, all excited, tuned in, and man, it was just great to hear them and see them and feel like we're getting a little bit of normalcy back in our lives.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction. Yep. It really is. And then the good news is it's just a step. This is not where we're going to end up with no crowds or anything, but it's a step. So a salute to the world of Outlaws and Dirt Vision and Knoxville Raceway for getting us this next step and getting us so that we're just all fired up and excited about it, and really, really neat stuff. Erin, I was so excited about it. I even made hot dogs for dinner that night just to simulate I was at the racetrack. That's how fired up I was. Cold frosty beer and a hot dog is what I had for that night.
Now, did you go throw a little dirt in there to make it even more realistic?
I didn't. I should have. We don't have that black zook dirt, or I would have done that. You know, I mean, if we had that.
The red clay doesn't taste as good.
Yeah, the red clay doesn't do it. That is for sure. It was so much fun this past weekend. It really was. And I think it just makes us appreciate what we had and appreciate the sport that we love so much when it's taken away from you to get a little taste of it back. And hopefully we'll get some more of it here over the next few weeks as the schedule lays out there. Let's take a look at our classicing, screen printing, and embroidery hot topics. And that race at Knoxville, Erin, what a thriller that one was. Holy cow. Not only did we have a race, but we had a great race.
I was just going to say that. The race was fantastic. And that track prep, I know we talk about the Duncans a lot, but considering they haven't had a race on that track since last year, that was pretty fantastic. They did an excellent job, and the drivers didn't disappoint either.
No, they really didn't, and it turned into a wild one at the end with David Gravel picking up the win. We're going to talk with David a little bit later on in the program. Ian Madsen was second. Logan Schuhart was third. Let's see, Darren Pittman and Corey Eliason completed the top five. The next night, the 410 racers, and a few of them were in common between the tracks, were at St. Francis County Raceway. How about Sunshine? Tyler Courtney picking up the win, the reigning USAC midget champ, and boy, he put a wing on top and still parked it on the front stretch.
I know. I love seeing that. You know, obviously I've been friends with the Clausen family for a long time, and their big wing debut was a big event. So to see them park in Victory Lane was really awesome.
Really cool. So congratulations to Sunshine and everyone there. Marysville Speedway in California, they had a pair of 360 races. DJ Netto and Brett Youngman picked up the wins there. And, well, I think that's as far as the races go. There was some great 305 racing across the country, too. And really, Erin, I think that's the other hot topic is some are, some aren't. Some are somewhere in the middle. I mean, this is crazy times we're living in here.
It really is crazy times. I'm just thankful this week we have some real racing to talk about. And I'm not knocking iRacing whatsoever, but it's actually nice to talk about some real results and then see some things in the future scheduled.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's more coming down the road. And as different states have different things open up, we'll have to see how this all unfolds. But, yeah, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, that's for sure. And, boy, I'm telling you what, it was so much fun this weekend. It really, truly was. And can't wait to get to the racetrack for real. I'm actually going to get to the racetrack, the NASCAR track this week with Darlington as we fire that off on Sunday. So I'm very excited about that. Very, very I'm fired up about that. We got all of our gear and everything together. Oh my gosh, it's going to be social distancing. I literally, Erin, might be going to Darlington and might not see anybody but our engineer. I'm going to be in a turn. I'm going to be in turn number 3. I'm standing on top of a building off from turn number 3. But I'll be glad to be at the racetrack and hear those cars roar by, that's for sure. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun weekend, that's for sure. And then you have your Classic Ink screen printing embroidery hot topics, www.Classic Ink USA, offering full custom driver apparel and crew wear options, full service embroidery department specializing in headwear and outerwear. They have an experienced design team, an experienced sales department, and they have it all, Erin.
They do, and it's not just for racing, for local businesses, school districts, sports teams, you name it. Some of the drivers are Sheldon Haudenschild, Donnie Schatz, Danny Dietrich, David Stremme with Lethal Chassis, Tony Stewart, Ryan Brown, the list goes on.
No doubt. It is great. ClassicInkUSA.com. That's www.ClassicInkUSA.com. All right. We've talked about it. Let's take a listen to it. Or those of you watching video, let's take a look at it. It was the final lap and a half on Friday night. Ian Madsen, the race leader, David Gravel stalking him down. It was on Dirt Vision. Tony Baughman and Johnny Gibson with the call. It's our Dryden Diesel All Death-defying Move of the Week.
And now for the Dryden Death-defying Move of the Week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
David Gravel getting a run down the back straightaway to the inside. Your race is for the lead. Will there be a slider? No. He tries them in. Oh, Ian gets over the cushion and losing the lead off of 4.
David Gravel takes the lead as they cross under the white flag.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official death of the world of outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Pride. Passion. Performance. We are Team Dryden.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Welcome back. It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, Ride on Our Strength. One of our great partners, and they're still rolling the diecast out, that's for sure. Diecast are coming in, diecast are going out, and Plan B Sales. They were founded in 2010. They started as a Lionel and Chase Authentics apparel distributor, but it has grown to Auto World, Greenlight Collectibles, Brand Art, University of Racing. They have a huge collection of Sam Bass artwork, huge inventory for Plan B Sales.
Yep, and they have partnerships with Kyle Larson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Christopher Bell, and lots of other drivers. And right now you can use a promo code MRN for free shipping on orders over $20.
And now joining us on the hotline after the win on Friday night out at the famed Knoxville Raceway, David Gravel's on the line. Hello, David. Welcome into Wing Nation.
What's going on, guys? How are you?
I am doing well. Dude, it had to be A, great to get back behind the wheel of a race car, and B, even better to win that race on Friday night.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, with how stacked of a field was going to be, I was just nervous just to make the show. I mean, you just didn't know what was going to happen. You qualify bad, put yourself in a hole. You just don't know what could happen. So to have the night we did, it felt really good. Just a weird situation with nobody there. But happy to be back in the race car and know I still know how to drive.
When you say that you still know how to drive, is there some sense as a driver of first stage jitters? I mean, and you probably have them a little bit in Volusia, but then it was almost like another winter break. Is it any more nerve-wracking after you've been off for a while?
For sure. You know, it's Knoxville. It was really cold, so the air was nearly just as good as Volusia. So we're making more horsepower there at Knoxville than we ever have. Usually the air is around like 3,000 feet, and it was like 300 feet. So we were making a ton of power. And it felt really fast. And hot laps, you know, things putting you in the seat big time. So that was a little bit of an eye opener, but it almost felt that you're somewhat out of control and you couldn't run it wide open in the heat race and anything after that. Just because if you were, you're kind of just all over the place.
Fascinating. It really is. It really is. As a guy that's never done it before, it's interesting to hear you talk about it. So, so with the whopping 3 laps of hot laps that you had, and you mentioned that you needed to get a good qualifying run. Was it like riding a bike? Was it just where in that whopping 3 laps of hot laps did you say, okay, I think we're going to be all right?
Again, that's the reason why I was nervous going into this event, because we get 3 laps of hot laps. I mean, what if the car was terrible? What if I got stuck behind a slower guy? There's so many things that could happen, and you don't learn anything in hot laps. So luckily I was a little bit later in qualifying to watch guys and what lines to run. So I knew going into qualifying, I'm running the top both laps. I'm not messing around with running the bottom at all. So I just went out there and ran the best 2 laps I could around the top. And luckily I've kept my quick time streak going. So I'm undefeated so far in outlaw competition.
Wow, that's impressive. David, you mentioned after the race, and you kind of just hit on it talking about even hot laps. But a bunch of these drivers talked about the track being a little bit tricky. Watching from Dirt Vision, it looked like typical Knoxville. But you mentioned it, and a few other drivers, that it was almost, I think you used the word treacherous. And a few people said it was really hard to hit your marks. What was different about the track?
Well, I think because it was so cold, the cushion had a lot of grip, and then the bottom had 1 strip of grip, not quite a full car length. But I think it being so cold, there was so much moisture, and actually off of turn 2, it formed like a berm or cushion on the bottom. So you can enter really good to the center, but on exit, there was like a big hump there, and that's why I was throwing the cars all around like crazy. And typically that doesn't happen. And then the cushion, 1 and 2 was pretty good, but 3 and 4, right in the middle, the curve was built up pretty high and got kind of treacherous, and kind of why I stayed away from it.
Wow, absolutely amazing. You and Ian both talked post-race about opportunities and mistakes. You both talked about the ones that got away from you, and then the bold move. Was there a point in that race where you're like, okay, this is not going to happen? And another one of those opportunities presented itself as the last 8 or 10 laps of that race unfolded. It seems like you had 3 or 4 chances, and all but one of those chances went away. What was that like mentally from the driver's seat?
Yeah, I thought I was running at a decent pace, and then I was in 3rd there, and then I started hitting the bottom and got to Darren, and then hit 2 good laps, and then I was right on Ian and got by him, and then ran the bottom of 3 and 4, and bad luck. The lap car ran the bottom and pulled off on the front stretch, and I had to let off the gas, and Ian got back by me. And, that kind of showed Ian, I think, maybe to step up his game from there on out, because, I poked my nose several times, but I couldn't get by him and keep him behind me. So I think he stepped it up, and then every single lap car we dealt with ran the bottom. And obviously I was committed to the bottom there. And, those things didn't go my way, but that race actually felt really like slow, like it went by really slow, and it felt like it was a 40-lap race, not a 30-lap race. So luckily it was 30 laps and not 25 like it normally was, because I thought I made too many mistakes and he got away from me too many times that my opportunity to win was going to be completely gone. I feel like if we were all sharp in the middle of the summer, I wouldn't have won that race. The leader would have won that race, but luckily he made a mistake in 3 and 4, and I gained about 10 car lengths and was back in striking distance and was able to get it done.
Wow, that's really interesting. David, what was it like to be in a World of Outlaws victory lane? And I know you mentioned it earlier, and there's no fans there. Your interviews were far away. It's, I guess, what we call our new normal, hopefully only for a short period of time. But what was it like to be one of the few people that actually got to be at the track the other day?
Yeah, I would just say it was weird. It didn't feel like a real race. Not as much excitement. Like, I was extremely excited when the checkered flag flew. Like, I was flailing my arms around like a little kid. But victory lane wasn't the same. There's not people taking pictures, and the crowd's not cheering, and they still blew the confetti and stuff like that. But, you want to hug your crew guys and family members and stuff, and you weren't able to do that. But it all made up for it when they told me somebody put an extra $5,000 on top of the winner's purse. So I was happy with that.
Happy with that, and happy that there was your #1 little fan, Jax, was celebrating a birthday. Had to be neat to bring him that birthday gift as well.
Yeah, for sure. If you guys heard, his favorite number is 5. That's what I drew in the dash draw. So I was just along from the ride from there. So the day before was Phil's birthday, so it was good to hop in. You know, there's always expectations for me and JJR to compete at a high level at Knoxville, and you know, it's cool to just keep that going.
That's great. David, we saw on social media yesterday that you were in town in Charlotte area. What are you doing here visiting? Any NASCAR stuff in the works?
Yeah, so I was here last week for the FS1 Chili Bowl race. That was fun. And then I flew to Knoxville, then flew back here. I had simulator time this morning with Chevy at 7:20 this morning. So I did that for 2 hours and just visited the guys here at GMS. But preparing for Charlotte, May 26th on Tuesday. So looking forward to that. I've never raced a truck in my life. I practiced at Texas, but we're just hopping right in the race. No qualifying, no practice. We're just hopping right in.
Oh, what do you? Yeah, see, in NASCAR, we do 3 hours of practice, not 3 laps. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. The challenge is that many of these guys have 30 years of NASCAR racing. So you mentioned the Charlotte truck race. Is that all you know right now? You had a partial schedule. We're under this weird, we don't know when we're racing. Is that all you know, or where you're at right now when the truck series starts?
Yeah, right now, you know, the World of Outlaws don't have obviously a full schedule out, and neither does NASCAR. So my first priorities are to hit all the crown jewel races in sprint car racing and not miss any of those. I was supposed to run Chicago, and, you know, they just canceled that race. So I know Eldora's on the list, and some more 1.5 mile tracks, Texas, Kentucky, Charlotte. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how the schedules play out here. It's a little bit difficult because you kind of want to see where and when you're going to race, and it's a little bit frustrating, but I mean, we have no other choice but to wait this thing out and see how it plays out. So hopefully I'm supposed to be running 6 races this year. Hopefully it all goes through and I'm able to be on the track 6 times. Initially, my last race was going to be Eldora, so I thought I would add a good amount of seat time in a truck, and I would have had a fairly decent shot at running well at Eldora. So we're just going to see how this all plays out, and hopefully I don't make any too hard decisions on picking between the truck and the sprint car.
Yeah.
David, I got to ask you, you mentioned that you've been flying a lot. For those of us who used to fly a lot and haven't, what does that look like right now?
Yeah, so I just started flying. I flew, 3 times in like 5 days, but everyone obviously has to wear a mask on the plane. I think it's optional in the airport, but I believe they're doing a good job cleaning the airplanes. I got my Clorox wipes. Once I sit down, wipe everything down, hand sanitize when I'm done with that, and then when I get off, I'll either wash my hands or hand sanitize. But Charlotte Airport had a decent amount of traffic. Des Moines Airport was completely dead. If there's 3 seats in each row, like on each side, they'll have the middle seat empty so nobody sits next to each other. So they have people spread out. And then when I noticed when I was booking flights, I mean, Charlotte to like West Palm Beach, there would be like 8 flights each day. Now there's only like 3 flights each day now. So they just cut down on how many flights are going in and out. And, ticket prices are now expensive again because I think there's just less flights to choose from.
Yeah, it is. It's expensive, limited. It's crazy times. I'm sure. David, we appreciate your time joining us today. Congratulations on that World of Outlaw win. Motor Racing Network's going to be in Charlotte covering your Truck Series start, so we look forward to covering you there as you get your maiden voyage in the trucks at Charlotte. But thanks for joining us. Safe travels, and we'll see you down the road.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me, and hopefully we see you soon.
There we go. David Gravel joining us fresh from that trip to Victory Lane. Stay with us. When we come back, Josh Boffman joins us to talk about his big race in West Texas.
Hey, Ashley, what are you up to?
Oh, I just stopped by to grab some sage fruit apples. Now I just have to decide which ones.
You can never go wrong with a Honeycrisp. They're light, crisp, and full of perfectly balanced flavor.
Oh, hey!
You could always go with one of their classics, the Gala or Fuji. They're both sweet and juicy.
Grown in the heart of eastern Washington, Sage Fruit Company works hard on the farm and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears to consumers all year long.
Well, I couldn't decide which ones. Thanks for the help, guys.
I'll race you to checkout.
Sir, are you aware you were going 40 miles an hour? This is a residential area.
Sure, but I'm on my lawnmower? Wait, am I getting a ticket?
No, I've just never seen anyone top 9 miles an hour on one of those bad boys. And mow their entire lawn in 30 seconds? What got into you?
Well, it did fuel up at Sunoco this morning.
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. We've been doing it for American racing for over 50 years. Fuel your best.
Welcome back. It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. We are having a ball. Okay, so we just got done with David Gravel talking about Friday's race. Erin, I almost feel like we're midsummer because now we're talking about tonight's race. Yes, Tuesday and Wednesday night racing. Josh Boffman is putting together the West Texas Crude Nationals, and Josh joins us now on the phone. Hello, Josh. Welcome into Wing Nation.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me on here.
Well, it is great to chat with you. The whole idea of putting this race together in COVID-19 on lockdown, how did this idea, tell us how you got to this point, Josh?
Well, growing up in West Texas is kind of hard to put a race like this on out here. And there's a little bit of racing, but not a whole lot of sprint car racing. So with my teams being kind of idle just like everybody else's, I came up here and tested with my 410 a few weeks ago, and talking with the track owner, he thought it'd be really neat to try to put a race on here for with some of these bigger name guys. And I kicked it around a little bit, because obviously right now, you don't know if they're going to let you do it, if the county or the city is going to allow you to do it. And so with our governor lifting everything to at least 25%, a week or so ago, it allowed me to at least send in and propose it to them. And it took a couple days to get back with me, and they said they were fine with it without any fans. Which is, it's kind of weird, the circumstances we're in here. But I'm going to allow, 800, 900 people there in the pits. Basically, that's the capacity of the 25%. So, but yeah, to put a race on like this and have the guys just come out here and support it, it's kind of cool. I just don't see there's any other opportunity other than now for me to be able to put this kind of race on out here and get the quality of cars that come out here and support me. So, these teams are hungry. Me being a car owner myself, I have crews and Erin's, basically, he runs for races for a living. And so being able to support these guys and put on a good purse, I put together a purse that is, pretty steep. It's $800 to start the first night, $1,000 for the second night. And, that's up there in the, 410 world. That's a pretty good purse, even for a 410. So, that's kind of what I want. I want to support the car owners and these teams and hopefully with Speed Shift doing this deal, and a lot of these fans can tune in and watch a great race.
Now, Josh, we know of you as the race car driver, the car owner. Is promoting something you have done before or you've been interested in? Is it something other than this one event? Would you like to do more of it?
I grew up owning a racetrack. My family owned a racetrack here in West Texas growing up. So I've been around the promoting side of things here and there, and it's not always the easiest thing to do. I don't envy these promoters and track owners at all. To deal with, race car drivers and car owners like myself, it's not always the easiest thing to do. It seems like no matter what you do, you always make somebody mad. And, so I think it's cool. It's obviously a lot of work to put this deal together and, get everybody to, kick in and come down here and support it. These guys that, I'm sitting here with Corey Eliason and these guys, parked next to me here, and, they drove all night to get here from Knoxville and then turn around and we're going to leave out Thursday morning and head to Jackson, Minnesota, which is 16 and a half hours from here. So, that's why I think any other time it'd be tough to get them to come out here. And, but I'm thankful they're supporting this still.
That is neat. I hadn't thought about the perspective of this as an opportunity to do that, and I think that's pretty cool. That's for sure. Now, I find it interesting because you've gone with the 360, the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour rules, but you're using the all-star format. Okay, Tell us the reason for both of those decisions.
Obviously you've known me, before I got into with Erin and I started running 410s, I raced 360s and as a car owner, it's hard to travel a lot of miles and to go draw uphill and you can't determine your own destination basically. With these guys traveling all the way out here, I wanted them to have a fair opportunity and to go out there and be able to qualify. And I talked with a few car owners from these bigger teams that's out here, and the only reason they're supporting this deal and drove out here is because I'm not doing the pill draw format. And I'm going with the qualifying format and doing these different things because, like I said, you travel 15 hours and you have a bad pill draw and you start in the back of your heat race and it's passing points. You're at the mercy of the racetrack at that point and who you draw. So I love the all-star format. And I love, racing with Tony and those guys. They do a great job, but which I think is the fairest format in racing. And it doesn't matter the track conditions. It doesn't matter who you draw because you qualify against your heat race. And it gives everybody the same opportunity. So, and I also did, I didn't go with the ASCS tire or the Outlaw tire. I opened it up to where you can run H's or mediums. For the simple fact is, me being a 410 car owner, I didn't want to have to go out and buy all mediums to come race, and vice versa for some of these ASCS guys. I wanted the guys to be able to run what they had and not go out and spend a bunch of money right now because, obviously we haven't been racing. We haven't been making any money doing these things. And quite honestly, I don't know if you've seen it, but oil was at negative $40 a barrel. But I mean, I just wanted these teams to be able to support me and not have to spend a lot of money. So I kind of left it open to try to make it as reasonable on everybody and give everybody the same opportunity. So.
Well, that's great. But if I was a team owner or still a driver, I'd be coming for that trophy. That trophy is one of the coolest trophies I've ever seen. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I was, Wayne Pretty, my crew chief, kind of has been helping me put this deal together. And I wanted something that's unique. It may never happen again. It may happen again. I don't know. But so I talked with Flea and we called him. I know he's a great fabricator. And I kind of had an idea what I wanted. And I sent him some pictures because, that's the business I'm in and different things. And being where we're from here in West Texas, Joey Saldana actually picked him up for me yesterday in St. Louis and brought him down to me. And, Joey was saying himself, that's probably one of the coolest trophies he's ever seen. And he'd love to have something like that in his man cave. I mean, it has, it's battery powered. You turn the switch on and off and the pump jack goes up and down. And they're very unique. I mean, it's, that takes us back to what I feel like you used to race for. These guys used to race for trophies and something that you can hold on to and have a memory with. And, being we're out here in the middle of nowhere, I kind of wanted someone to have something that was unique and just in case I never got the opportunity again. So.
Nice, nicely done. Spoken like Terry McCarl, who loves who's a trophy freak as far as that goes. And I think I saw Fleece pictures of that. That looked really, really cool. So really neat stuff. Final question for you here. I think I understand why you're involved with Erin Reitzel because he's probably the most badass sprint car driver on the planet. Okay, I get that. But you guys have expanded this year, and not that that's a slam on Seth Berkman, but you guys have formed a second team now. You and your father have the decision to get involved even further beyond Erin's program with Seth and his deal.
Well, when I was the 17 car has always been, I've built the 17 car myself, and obviously with my businesses and my family, I don't get the opportunity to go out and race like I used to and be on the road like I used to. So, I put that deal together with Seth and obviously Seth's coming to support this deal, but he's going to be in his own car this week because I'm being a little bit selfish on this deal. But we talked about it and we had a schedule put together with where Seth was going to have so many races and I was going to have so many races. And, with all this craziness happened, it kind of just we haven't been racing at all. So, but yeah, I mean, it's cool for me. I kind of when I look at the 17 car, I kind of look at it how Casey Kane looks at the 9 car. He has Brad and he has his team that's out there. We all want to win, but I look at it as Casey has a little bit more pride in that 9 car when the 9 car wins because Casey's with that car and he goes out there And he's the one, I mean, Casey's turning wrenches on it and doing those different things. And, you know, I'm not going to go up to Erin's car and start cranking weight in the right rear, you know, because, I mean, that's these guys and that's my primary car. But the 17 car, you know, I like to go to the race even when I'm not racing and help out and work on them and do different things and you know, put somebody in the 17 car that can go out and, you know, and outrun Erin, you know, even though that's my car, you know, I'd love to be a part of that. So the main thing is just have two successful teams and continue to have fun, but more so I can help out on the 17 car a lot more and be more involved as not only a car owner with my father and family, but I can help out on some of the mechanical side too. So.
Yes, that makes so much sense, especially knowing Casey so well and his passion for that number 9 car and his that you make total sense with what you're saying there. Josh, we encourage everybody tonight to do Speed Shift TV. Of course, Speed Shift TV tonight and tomorrow night for the West Texas Crude Nationals. We wish you the best, and we appreciate your time joining us here today on Wing Nation.
All right, thank you all very much. And yeah, please tune in and watch. I think it's going to be a great race. So.
Sounds like it's going to be a great stacked field of race cars. That's Josh Boffman joining us here on Wing Nation. Great to hear Josh Boffman joining us here. And, of course, he has a lot of history with the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, as does his driver, Erin Reitzel, as does his other driver, Seth Bergman. The ASCS National Tour, of course, like everything else, is on hiatus as far as racing goes and the schedule goes. But stay with them, ASCSracing.com. That's ASCSracing.com. And I'm sure they'll start to have some races populate their schedule here as we start to open things up just a little bit. We need to step away. More Wing Nation in just a moment.
Power isn't born. It's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain. And we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Pride. Passion.
Performance.
We are Team Dryden.
Welcome back. It is Wing Nation presented by Hercules Tires. Right on our strength. Like to mention the spring rebate is going on right now with Hercules Tires, where you can win up to $70 in Visa gift card with 4 qualifying tire purchase. You can go to HerculesTires.com/spring rebate to find out more information. This is the time of the program where we love to talk about the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, located in turn number 2 at Knoxville Raceway. We do it with the birthday calendar. Later this week, Walt James' birthday, Ray Tilley coming up later this week, Russ Garnett. Today, Oscar Red Garnett's birthday, but today would have been the birthday, 97th birthday of Laverne Nance. He was born in 1923, the class of 1995. He worked in the cotton fields, and then he worked for an aircraft company during World War II. After the war, he founded Nance Machine and Paint Company in Wichita, Kansas. And someone brought a midget car in, and he started to work on it. And someone brought another race car in, and he started to work on it. And, well, you know, there's a lot of details with the rest of the story. Erin, once a guy like this, like Laverne Nance, gets his hand on a race car, it's tough for him to stop.
Oh, absolutely. And he had so many successful drivers. And, I mean, I don't know how many races he won, but I sure know about Opperman driving for him and Sammy. I mean, the list went on and on of incredible drivers.
Incredible drivers, that's for sure. Incredible drivers and incredible. He later founded Nance Speed Equipment as well. So the house cars, Sammy won 2 World of Outlaw championships with him. Jan Opperman, Jimmy Sills, Jack Hewitt, Mike Peters, Eddie Levitt. Al Unser Jr. raced for him. In the mid-1980s, Erin, they were cranking out between 80 and 110 cars a year. Oh. That's a lot of race cars. Passed away, did Laverne, in 2003, but he is forever enshrined in the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum is going to enshrine its next class coming up on August 1st. That has been postponed. This class includes Greg Hotnick, Tim Schaefer, Jeff Swindell, Don Lamberti, Spencer Riggs, Walt Dyer, Paul Leffler, and Bill Cummins. And Erin, our buddy Greg Hotnick, looks like they've got quite a tribute they're putting together for him.
They do. I've seen a little sneak peek at the Salute to Champions for Greg Hotnick exhibit. They have 8 of Greg's cars, videos, memorabilia, some of his engineering developments, which to me, of course, is very interesting. And it's going to run from May 1st to October 1st.
Going to be exciting, that's for sure. SprintCarHof.com. That's www.SprintCarHof.com. Got a new partner to the show here. Very excited to bring our friends at Ford Performance on board with us this week and throughout the balance of the season. And what I love about Ford Performance and Ford, and I deal in a lot in my NASCAR dealings, this thing started, okay, we want to talk about Henry Ford, Erin, okay? He was racing before there was Ford Motor Company. Mm-hmm. In 1986, his quadricycle, okay? You ever have a quadricycle, Erin?
No.
Never had a quadricycle, okay? Reached 20 miles per hour. In 1901, he beat a guy named Alexander Winton, that is, in a 10-lap race. Barney Oldfield drove in that race next year in the Ford car, in the Ford 999. Henry took the money and built the Ford Motor Company, and the rest is history, and such a history it is. When you think of Ford, Erin, with racing, it's absolutely amazing, all of the racing that they do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think of just watching the Ford versus Ferrari movie, but they've been into sports cars and Le Mans and drag racing and sprint cars in the past, and now currently they're putting a big push into sprint cars.
Absolutely. They're NASCAR racing, and in 2020 sprint cars. And hopefully, as this thing lifts, we're going to tell you the Ford 410 story here on Wing Nation. It's going to be an exciting time, that is for sure. And with that, we're going to wrap it up. But, boy, I'll tell you what, fun watching David Gravel and always fun to chat with him. And we get to turn right around and see sprint cars again tonight and tomorrow night with Josh Boffman. So it's almost like summertime, almost.
Okay, we're getting there. Big steps.
Big steps, that's for sure. Hey, Wing Nation's apparel is available at www.wingnation.com. You can check us out there. Make sure you follow all of our social media platforms over the course of time. That's Twitter, that's Facebook. Our YouTube page has all of our interviews on it. Really, really great stuff. We're busy this week. Coming back later this week, Dave Reef is going to join us on our Thursday podcast. And how about this? Lynn Jeffrey is going to join Ashley Strummy and I on our MAV TV show. So I'm telling you, David Gravel, Josh Boffman, Dave Reef, and Linton Jeffrey, that's a pretty good week of talking sprint car racing, Erin.
Sure is.
Nice fun. Hey, we appreciate everyone joining us here. Thanks again to David Gravel and Josh Boffman for joining us. More important than all of that, though, thank you for joining us here on Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires.
Wing Nation has been brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our string. Watch Wing Nation Saturday mornings on MAV TV. You can also find Wing Nation on wingnation.com or your favorite podcast provider. Wing Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.